Well, here we go again, folks. It's Friday. So I understand many of you guys probably have really important jobs and you can't get away to watch a live feed with some veteran talking about health issues. But I appreciate you if you are able to tune in right now. This is kind of impromptu. My week has been all over the place. Just got back from a doctor's appointment, first time in years. I know I should be taking better care of my health, but I listened to my wife and made an appointment. So that's the reason why we're not doing the live at 8:30 as per usual. So 4:30 it is Eastern Standard, but we still have equally important stuff to get brought to your attention, namely the fact that we didn't get through last week's live and how there are 5 steps for you to get rid of that jiggly, doughy fluff you got around your midsection before summertime. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that based on my 5-step principle. But we're actually going to get through it. The stream just completely dropped out last week, and I really think it was the government, man. JT got a hold of the fact that I'm spitting the truth on how to get lean and mean and healthy. We can't have that in Canada. We can't have veterans healthy. God knows what we'd get up to if we're thriving. So thanks for retuning back in. We got 11 folks tuning in already. That's awesome. It's better than none and me just talking into the atmosphere. So if you are tuning in, just drop a comment. Hey, what's up? And we'll get started. If this is your first time here, drop a first time. And if you are a repeat visitor to the channel, drop veteran here in the comments, whether or not you did military service or not. That's irrelevant at this point. Everybody is welcome here at the Hard to Kill podcast. So I want to go over some housekeeping for the community. Namely, I want to share some wins with folks that are really kicking ass and taking names in the Veterans Getting Fit AF community. And I want to start with Darren. So Darren is a hard charger. He's kicking ass and taking names. And it's been 3 months now. He's been working in the community and he's been following the meal plan, all the suggestions that have been made here and in the group. And he's dialed in everything to where he's comfortable and have a full-on integration. And he's eliminated sugar from his diet, eliminated polyunsaturated fatty acids, which we went over last week on this channel. Blood pressure has been high for decades and now is down to 125 over 65. The BMI is down to acceptable ranges. Lean muscles up. Overall weight is down. Blood pressure meds are gone. Pain meds are gone. And he's working out less and eating more and feels better than he has in a decade. And this is a sustainable lifestyle change. And this is all from Darren's mouth. I'm paraphrasing, but he's kicking ass and taking names. So well done, Darren, man. I love seeing successes like this. And not to outdo him, but Melissa, who's in the same group, she's kicking ass and taking names too. She's swimming. She's getting involved in a hell of a lot more than she was before. She joined a local volleyball club, and she's going to be participating in the Invictus Games, which is huge. And since joining the community, she's swimming longer. She shaved time off her 1,200 meter swim pace. She's been hitting the pool regularly. And all that's to say is that things are going a lot better for her. And she's dialing in her nutrition and getting after it and getting ready for the Invictus Games. So well done, Melissa. 2 thumbs up from me and everybody else in the community. So folks, if you want to start getting a little bit fitter, getting a little bit healthier, figuring out, well, what are these folks doing? Where are they getting all this information? I need help too. Stay tuned to the end. I'll explain it all to you and give you the details. Next, let's share some things that I think you might be interested in. I'm going to pull up the Military Influencer Conference. This here is something that I'm really passionate about. The conference is American. It's the world's premier military-based business conference. I've been down twice. I can't talk about it enough. We're going to have something to share with you next week that is going to be relevant to the Canadian entrepreneur space. For me, entrepreneurship has given me a purpose unlike any other since leaving the forces. I even had another career teaching. It didn't provide me the same kind of purpose, even close to what I'm doing now. in terms of entrepreneurship, because I get to work with folks like you. You're the people I want to work with. Surprise, surprise. I get on a live for free and talk about health and fitness, obviously because I love it. And the entrepreneur side has been something that has really helped me develop myself as a person. And that's why I can't wait to share with you what's going down with the Military Influencer Conference and what we have to do with it for next, or I should say this year. So stay tuned for more coming down the pipe. So follow me on Twitter, on X, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. All the links, if you're watching this on YouTube, are down below in the description. If you want to follow me on any of my socials, I'd really appreciate it. And lastly, before we get into the meat of our topic today, did you guys see this? So this is relevant to all you podcasters out there. I saw this and I was like, holy guacamole, look at this. So Quebec Superior Court judge grants authorization for class action lawsuit against YouTube over COVID-19 censorship on its platform. Man, this is like the first time it pays to be from Quebec and be an Anglophone. Like, boom, crushing it. Hey, so this is the first I see of it. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I know I had my channel crushed early on. I supported the truckers and you couldn't do that. I talked about natural immunity because I'm a science teacher. I know a little bit about it. Couldn't do that. I got strike after strike and I was like, man, what the hell? I'm just talking about science, man. I'm talking about actual doctors. I'm not the doctor. I'm making it clear. This is just based off their opinion. Crush, 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 crush. This is going to be interesting to see. Is this going to have a cascade effect across other provinces and the rest of the country? We'll see. Another thing I wanted to point out too, I wanted to go to Valor Legal's page and point out some of the things that they're hosting. Got to support Catherine and her cause, because if you're aware of any of the lawsuits that are happening right now against the Canadian Armed Forces, pretty much all of them are being led by Catherine and her team at Valor Legal, and they're in need of cash and funding. It doesn't come, like, the money doesn't just like appear. People need to actually fund them. One way you can do it is go buy a t-shirt from my merch store. I'm not wearing it right now, but it's support the 329. $1 from every sale goes to the Valor Legal Action Center Fund. She's also hosting a Stronger Together conference. That's June 21st, 22nd, 23rd of this year in Beausejour, Manitoba. And you can purchase tickets now. This is on X, so you can head to her link there and participate. Additionally, if we go a little bit deeper on her feed, I just want to give you some updates as to what's going on with the lawsuits. And here we go. There's a class action lawsuit. So if you're a Canadian Armed Forces veteran, there are class action lawsuits related to lead exposure, vaccine injury, and hearing loss. So if you have more questions and want more information, I strongly recommend you go check out Valor Legal on X. So spell it the Canadian way, Valor Legal, if you're listening to this on the audio. Link is actually going to be here in the description as well on YouTube. You can go and get more information from her legal team if you think you were exposed to any of these during your time in service. So now that that's covered off, let's get into the meat of the conversation today and get back to the presentation, which is how veteran men, and I'll caveat this, veteran women too. This is just a legacy slide. So ladies, you're included here too. Okay. You'll benefit from this just as much as men. And funny enough, women tend to gravitate more to what I'm talking about than men. I make my life harder for no reason. So ladies, please follow along too. Of reducing belly fat, chronic pain, and becoming family role models in 5 steps. Wow. All that from just listening to a free presentation. I know. If you're fired up, let me know in the comments. Just type in fired up. Okay. So without further ado, let's start moving forward on these slides. I left off the other day way ahead. So bear with me. I'm going to skip ahead to where we left off. And I went over my military career and how, unfortunately, I didn't end up getting to where I wanted to be doing what I typically did, which was CrossFit, eat very little, and hope that everything worked out in the end. And this is where we ended up. I ended up giving a free copy of the Nimble Warrior to Vix. If you're paying attention and listening in, please, drop me an email. you've won your copy, and I'll sign it and send it off to you. Now, let's carry on. We went over the fact that, hey, you need to remove some of the shitty foods that's in your diet, namely polyunsaturated fatty acids. And on top of that, we discussed replacing with high quality nutrient dense food, which, surprise, surprise, is protein and things like red meat. So we're going to move on and look at the other remaining R's in the 5 R's concept. So this one is realign. And this is what I call the pain in the ass, right? This is literally what we're talking about here. Moving well is critically important to making sure that you actually have a better quality of life. Okay. So better quality of life, moving well, eating well, sleeping well, having better energy, they're all tied in. Working on your mental health is awesome, but the compounding effects of having a healthier body that is in less pain makes improving your mental health that much easier. So one of the things I highly recommend is you grab a foam roller, you grab a lacrosse ball, you grab a tennis ball, you grab a can of soup. It doesn't matter. And you place it on the areas that are giving you a lot of pain, like a lot, like Dumb and Dumber. It's got to be painful. You got to make a pain face. This video here is showing the piriformis SMR technique, which is where I had the biggest issues. And if you have low back pain, doing one of these exercises can bring you a ton of relief, more than drugs and more than going to physio and chiro and all that stuff, which is acutely fixing what's happening at the moment. But often what most of us don't do, and this is what I did, I would go to a treatment and then I would come back and not do any of the exercises and be like, man, my back's not getting any better. Well, yeah, no shit, dude, you're not doing the work. It's an everyday thing. If you're injured, it's an everyday thing. It's never going to go away. You got to keep on it. 10 minutes a day, guarantee you have 10 minutes. You watch TV, cool. Get on a foam roller for 10 minutes rather than sitting there just stuffing your face with, I don't know, pretzels. I don't know what you're eating these days, but you shouldn't be stuffing your face past 7 o'clock anyways. We'll get into that. Let's head to the comments. Okay, we got Friday Terry. Thanks, man, for checking in. And Silver Links, good afternoon to you too. Sir, madam, ma'am, don't know. Here are just a few comments from folks that have applied some of the SMR work that I go over in the Nimble Warrior here. So Hugo cured my back pain and hasn't had any issues, but he hurt his neck on an unrelated incident, which is huge. Same with Kalo over here on the right. My back hurts less, and at least it feels like it. And he feels like his muscles are getting stronger and doing more work and easing the load off his sciatic nerve. That's often something that really is the biggest pain in the ass, is sciatic pain. If you ever had it, man, it sucks. There's a way forward, and you don't have to constantly be in pain. You can do the work, and I show you in my book, and I show you in my BE.A.S.T program, and I show you in a whole other different place, a bunch of other places, YouTube channel, how to actually alleviate that from home so that you don't have to be in pain as much. Okay, so now we're moving on to the 4th R, which is rebuild. Stop AMRAPing. For those that aren't in the know, AMRAPing as many rounds or as many reps as possible. Very popular within the, especially Army, especially infantry culture of go hard, go home, and more is always better. Stop doing this to death. So stop thinking that doing more reps and doing more gym sessions at full capacity at threshold pace is going to get you the results you want, especially when you get a bit older, and especially when you are, oops, sorry, I just ruined my presentation. There we go. Especially when you are getting a bit older, so 35 plus, you're not going to have the same response time. You're not going to have the same recovery time. So do these 3 workouts instead. They're significantly going to be, or they're going to significantly help you moving forward with your progress and getting healthier. And the wisdom behind this is that if you see this graph here, this is an overtraining graph. And quite simply put, there's a baseline here of just maintaining, but then you see this line is maintaining and then it drops off down to the right. This is where you have a recovery cycle, but you never fully recover. And you end up constantly getting more and more and more fatigued, more and more detrained. And you end up getting closer and closer to injury and a lower fitness level rather than a higher fitness level. So, this is where the concept of greasing the groove comes in. Greasing the groove is a concept that I learned from Pavel Tsatsouline, a Russian kettlebell master who brought it over to North America, and the kettlebell craze kind of exploded from there because kettlebell sport is something that comes from Russia. His concept, and you can find it on Joe Rogan's podcast, he talked about this, that, hey, man, volume, especially when you get a little bit older, is a little bit more important than going really, really, really hard or going really, really, really heavy. You can do 1,000 reps and then bounce back next day and do 1,000 reps. That's awesome, but space it out over the course of the day. Your body's going to respond the same way to 1,000 reps if you do it over a few hours and if you do it over a few minutes. Not that you can do 1,000 kettlebell swings in a few minutes, it take a while, but you get the point. Constant HIIT training, so high intensity interval training, is super stressful on your central nervous system and not good for fat loss, especially as we start getting older. So if you're wondering, man, I'm doing all this CrossFit, I'm doing like 4 days at the CrossFit gym, I'm still fluffy. Like, what's going on? Oh, I know. I'll go a fifth day. Wrong answer, man. Wrong answer. The best workout is the one that you can reliably perform on any day for 20 minutes. That's it. That's it. Simplify things. Okay. Make it so simple that you cannot mess it up. If in your mind you're like, I'm going to go pay for an hour and it's going to hurt, it's going to suck. Man, my back hurts, my knee hurts, man. It's great. You're going to start making excuses to not do it. That's a given. I do it for jujitsu. I'm like, man, my knee hurts. My back's killing me. Yeah, because I'm struggling. I'm struggling to go because it hurts. But does a 20-minute walk hurt? No, I'm okay. Does a 20-minute run hurt? No, but a little bit more. So get your ego out of the way. Go for a walk. That's one of my biggest recommendations. So that's why the 3 best workouts, and you can write these down. Remember, if you're a good troop, he's brought some good habits from the military, you're going to have an FMP and you're going to have a pen ready. Take these down. First one, sprints. If you're going to do one high intensity activity every week, I highly recommend you do sprints. Now, if your body's not ready for running sprints, get on a bike, get on a rower, get on an assault bike, get on a ski erg. It's proven to jack up testosterone and also prevents you from being the slowest if you are being chased by a bear with your friends. All right. Do some sprints. Really important. Build yourself up to it. Don't go balls to the walls. Go at 80%, 90%. Warm up for like 10 minutes. Don't pull a hammy. Next workout 2 is farmer's walks. You don't need a ton of equipment. You can literally just go get some paint buckets from Rental Depot, from Home Depot, and fill them up with water and walk around your house with them. You don't need kettlebells. You don't need anything. You can fill it with sand, whatever. Doesn't matter. Make it heavy. Walk around with it. And this is going to stimulate loads of testosterone. Try it. See how like crazy sore you are the next day if you do a good amount of them. Your traps, your shoulders, your forearms are going to be burning. And then lastly, the walk, 20 minutes a day. That should be your baseline for the rest of your life. I'm listening to Peter Attia's book, Longevity, and walking. It's just a thing. Human beings typically, this is, again, a statistic that if you quote me on it, it'll probably get crushed by the internet. But from what I heard, men used to walk anywhere between 16 to 20,000 steps per day. Okay. And that's before like modernity. So therefore, are you anywhere near that? Nah, probably not. Just because there's a lot of convenience. But can you get 10,000 steps a day? Like that's shown to be amazing. Even 8,000 steps a day. The research on that is really good. All-cause mortality falls off a cliff if you just do 8,000 steps a day. 8,000 steps a day isn't a big stretch, but I guarantee you're not likely one of the, 21% of people that actually do that amount of activity. You probably fall in the 78 or 79% of people that don't. So bump it up. Get one of these fancy watches. Like I'm way under right now. Like I'm only at 3,000 steps today. So that means before I go dodo, I got to make up steps. So I go out, usually go with the kids after supper. go around the block a few times, come back. If I'm not quite there, all right, well, guess I'm going for a little health walk. It's as simple as that. If you hold yourself accountable, you'll get it done. Okay. This is what the research says. 20% of men will have low T in their 60s, and it's getting worse. It's declined by about 1% per year after age 40. And in the military community, it's way worse because of all toxic exposure, TBIs, PTSD. The list goes on and on. So our testosterone levels are getting crushed. Higher, and women, testosterone is important for you too. So don't just think this is for men. Okay. You need good levels of testosterone. It keeps you alive, keeps you motivated, it keeps you full of energy. You need testosterone. Higher T levels decreases obesity, risk of heart disease, increases energy and libido. I don't think that needs much more description. Lift heavy stuff once per week. So what did I say? Go for a farmer's walk. If you do that once a week, man, you'll build in a good amount of strength and improve your testosterone levels. And you'll also make your back feel better, believe it or not. And like regular fitness here and healthy eating and sleep habits reduces cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. In chronic stress situations, cortisol is always high. Cortisol is always high. It's hard for testosterone to do the work of what it's supposed to because they interfere with each other. So therefore, try to bring cortisol levels down by eating well, sleeping well, and taking care of yourself. And you'll see a difference just by doing that. Okay. So here are just some other folks that had some really good results by following my 5-step method. Dave over here up top, he's eating cleaner. Amazed at how much he has to eat in a day to meet his goals because he was super active. And he noticed that his stomach's getting flatter, even though he's eating more. But was he eating more of? Protein. Down another pound from another weigh in. And Dave also had a really important breakthrough with his sciatica pain. And since it pretty much went away, he was able to go to the gym and get even more volume in because he wasn't in pain, which allowed him to do a whole bunch more. And below here is another example of another Canadian Forces member that became a police officer and was just able to smoke folks on his PT test just by incorporating these 5 steps, man. It's simple as that. All right. So step 5, and then we got a little quiz coming up. So stay tuned because I got another thing to give away. If you're excited, drop some exclamation marks in the comments and let's bash on 89 people. Wow. This is amazing. Can we get it to 100? Can you share? Because we're almost at the end here. We're almost at the end. We're at step 5. So we can kick off the rest of the weekend on a high note with some really actionable intel. But sleep or die, the 30 minutes that might save your life, like literally save your life. You're welcome. You're getting it for free. I'm borrowing the information from Dr. Parsley, though. This isn't my research. This is a Navy SEAL doctor, friend of the podcast, been on twice. Turn off your phone is the most important thing. Before going to bed, just freaking turn it off. There's a bunch of different apps that you can use on your phone that just like remind you, hey, dummy, like turn this thing off. It's important. 30 minutes before bed, you can do it. You don't need to check your messages. Trust me, you'll be fine. Once you do that, you'll be able to reduce the amount of light that's hitting your retinas. It'll allow you to start stimulating hormones like melatonin a lot better, and it'll just start the sleep process. You probably feel sleepy moving towards nighttime, but you just, another episode, another beer. At bare minimum, do all that, but just put your phone away. Secondly, make things extra dark in your room, like crazy dark, like can't see in front of your hand dark. Mattawa Plains at night dark. If you can do that, it's going to allow you to pass out a lot easier. And lastly, turn your thermostat in your bedroom way down. So let your wife know, hey, honey, we're doing this for my mental health and physical health. You'll benefit too. Don't worry, we'll snuggle. That's it. That's all you got to say. That'll help your body cool down because naturally we want to go to sleep when it cools down because it's nighttime. And when you roll and toss and turn, that's actually your body trying to find a cool spot. So if it's just naturally cool in your room, it'll be a lot easier to fall asleep. Those 3 things are going to help dramatically get yourself to sleep, especially if you're having a little bit of trouble. And work on that sleep habit just like you work on any other habit. It's going to really prevent long-term side effects. Some interesting data, 32% of Canadians are sleep deprived. Simple as that. That's a third, man. That's a lot. And I don't even want to know what the stats are for veterans. It must be astronomical. All the sleep that you accrued during your service doesn't just magically disappear. You have to sleep it off. And unfortunately, you can't bank sleep, but you can accumulate sleep debt. So that sleep debt has to be paid at some point, and everything gets stored in your central nervous system. So figuring out your sleep habit can have dramatic effects on your health. If you were to do just one of these 5 steps, I would recommend just sorting this one out. Bumping up your sleep quality and bumping up your sleep quality will have dramatic effects on your testosterone levels. It'll help you lose weight. It'll make you think clearer, like on and on and on and on and on. Folks that have shitty sleep, the next day have like a 30% decrease in testosterone levels. That's insane. So without doing anything else other than sleeping better, 7 to 8 hours, and 8 hours is pretty much the gold standard, is what you need to aim at. So some of the main things here, 33% Canadians not getting enough. Put your phone away, eliminate light sources, and 17 degrees. That's your recap. Take that and run with it. I hope you got that down in your FMP pad, and we're going to carry on. And Friday, Terry here is saying the cold thing is 100% true. Yeah, amen. Like, think about it too. Like, if you ever go camping or just sleep outside, you know, like I like taking the kids out in tent, like even though we're in the city, in the suburbs, you sleep better. Why? It's fresh air. It's cold. You know, you get in your sleep. Yeah, it's how we're meant to sleep. So just simulate it. Just simulate it. Quiz time. First one to correctly comment gets a set of exercise bands. These ones from LeBert Fitness. How many Canadians are sleep deprived? Less than 27%, more than 83%, approximately 32%. First one to comment with the right answer gets a set of LeBert exercise bands. One of my favorite things to use when training and warming up. 32 Friday, Terry knocks it out of the park. Well done, Friday, Terry. You are the winner for today. All you need to do is send me an email at dave@davemorrow.net. Say, hey, Dave, I won your competition. Gimme. All right. So there we go. Thanks for participating. Stay tuned next week for more giveaways on the lives. Now we're at 103. Oh, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you sharing. Really do. Okay. So let's summarize and let's get close to wrapping this bad boy up. You're welcome, Friday, Terry. Much appreciated for tuning in. Do you know how much you should eat a day? All right. So going back to our first lesson, you can go back on YouTube and check it out. Okay. It's there. All right. It's roughly the same graphic. It's the same title. Just go back, watch that one. And we're essentially saying, I'm essentially saying, you need to make sure that you get enough protein. And what that means is you need 1 gram per pound of desired body weight. If you get that in, you're doing significantly better. The rest of the calories, we can do a whole other episode on that. If you'd like to do together a class on that on another live, drop in the comments, let's say calories. If you put calories in the comments, this is on the fly, guys. I didn't plan this. If you put calories in the comments on the next live, we'll do a episode where we'll actually calculate how many calories you need to eat in order to get to your weight loss goal. So if I see 2 posts of calories in the comments, I will do that live next week. And don't forget, I remembered from last week, you guys want to see something on spike protein elimination. I'm working on the episode. I'm researching it. I'll be doing it in 2 weeks because I'm on vacation next week. Next point is, are you eliminating the bad food from your diet? Polyunsaturated fatty acids being one of them, sugar being a second, alcohol being the third. Do you know what exercises are good for your specific goals? I went over 3. So we went over walking, sprinting, and lifting heavy stuff. And have you sorted out any lingering chronic pain issues? And just to move my head out of here, are you getting enough sleep? Simple, okay, which is 7 to 8 hours. So if you're knocking all these out of the park, you checked off all the boxes, hey man, you're good. But if you haven't checked off all of these, If you're still struggling with some of them and you need to dial them in, I have something for you coming up real fast. So stay tuned. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. And even if you're watching this on repeat, drop them in the comments because I'll get to them eventually. So you have two paths right now. You have the I'm going to keep on doing what I'm always doing path. And thanks, Dave, but I got this. Okay, cool. But the other path is foolproof. It's like what Darren was doing. It's like what Melissa was doing. They're following a proven system. And that proven system has been something that I've been building over the past 5 years. It's why I have a 5-step system. Okay. There's a better way. Granted, I don't expect you to grow an Afghanistan like this one here. It's pretty awful. But you only need 20 minutes a day to start implementing the things that I've been talking about. This isn't a, oh my God, I don't have hours every day. I don't have a gym membership. It's not that. Okay. It's 20 minutes a day. The foolproof path is joining the Veterans Getting Fit AF community. I think you guys know what AF stands for. I just don't want to get dinged on my YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm trying not to swear. This is a self-paced group. It's a learning environment. I'm a teacher by trade. Like I said in the first episode, I love teaching. So this is the place where I can actually teach and you can learn and then ask questions. I've noticed over the last 5 years, most folks, that's all they need. You guys are smart. You guys can figure things out. I can't do the discipline thing for you. I can't literally take you and put you on a treadmill. But what I can do is say, if you do this, you will get X result. And if you need help in figuring that out, that's what I'm here to do. In it, you have the beast mode home workout plan. You have my nimbleness plan, which is all based off of this book right here, Nimble Warrior. Okay, so that's there. There's a video course that's being built as we speak for that book. So you get to follow along, work on your chronic pain. I do a meal planner, a recipe guide, what to buy at the grocery store, custom meal plans that I've built out for years that you can just take off the shelf and use. A perform better in bed guide. Okay. It's learning how to sleep better, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. And weekly calls. I do weekly calls. I do 2 weekly calls that are kind of like this, but you can literally ask me a question that's not through a comment section. We get on Google and we start talking through Google Meets. And if you have a question, if you have a plan and you want to start sorting it out, you wait your turn. And then I get to it on a weekly basis. On top of that, bringing in guest experts, strength coaches, toxic exposure coaches, mindset coaches, like the list goes on, and you get access to all of this if you are a member. Other things I'm adding, the Chef Boyardee cooking class. All right. Old man strength workout program. My favorite. Okay. Keeps me coming back to the gym. I don't have time for clean and jerks and snatches anymore. I think I aged out of that. The ultimate fasting program. So folks are saying, I want to start fasting. What do I do? That's in there too. You get access to every course that I've developed and all the ones I'm developing in the future. All based around how to get you, the veteran or military adjacent person, leaner, fitter, and harder to kill. And the biggest thing is, like I said earlier, you get the benefit from essentially one-on-one coaching from me because you are an early adopter. Normally this would cost way more. Okay. Getting me as a coach to be one-on-one because my time is precious, but now I'm sharing it with folks in a much better model that allows me to convey a message to many rather than just one at a time. And to give you an idea, my BE.A.S.T program is typically $1,800. Weekly webinars, okay, one-on-one with me, Q&A sessions, that's $600. Okay, no-fail nutrition plan, almost $300. Guest interviews with all the transcripts, with all the breakdowns of each one of their episodes, so you get like the dialed-in version of what they're talking about, whether it's keto, fasting, you name it. Typically $200. The Nimble Warrior video course is almost $100. Lean Muscle Guide is $30. That's a total value of $3,021. But that's not what I'm offering you. I'm giving you all of this and then some for only $28 a month. That's the intro offer that I want you guys to have access to because you guys listen to the podcast. This offer isn't going to last forever though, because at the end of May, price is going to go up. So this is only open to you guys. And if you guys want to hop on, okay, there's a whole bunch of people that are already here getting the results that they want. I already talked about Darren. Darren's kicking ass and taking names. Amanda, within the first week, already lost 5 pounds. I have the world's simplest PT, or I should say fitness program in there that you can do as of day one. And you just implement 3 simple things and you start losing weight. It's insanely simple, but that's in the group. Okay. So if you want to know, okay, all the secret sauce, I'm giving it away. I'm giving it away. It's all there. You just need to show up, stay committed, participate in the group. That's the key. If you just sit there and you don't do anything, well, hey, you know what? This isn't going to be the place for you. If you want to participate in a group that is built for veterans, by veterans, you're going to get a hell of a lot of value from this. This is where you can go in order to sign up. If you don't have your phone out, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to give you the link right here, right now, that you can go follow. So it is here. I'm going to put it in the comments. You can go click on that and you can get a whole bunch more information if you're unsure of whether or not this is the right fit. I've got an explainer video there. I've got a whole bunch of testimonials. I want this to be the right fit for you. So if this is the right fit, okay, I want you to come and join the group. So it's link is here. Just going to show you the link here. If you go to that link, you'll be able to find out all the details for the school community. All right. That is where we are doing the work. That is where we're going to get 100,000 veterans to lose 2 million pounds. And I want you to be part of that club. And even if you don't need to lose weight, we're going to be doing some strength training. We're going to be doing some habit formation. We're going to be doing some mindset work. This is the place that you want to be. Lastly, some other folks, some other veterans, I've got some amazing results from my BE.A.S.T program, which is part of, the school community. Mark ran a half marathon from basically couch to half marathon and lost a whole ton of weight. Went from how much? 214 to 185 pounds. Impressive, to say the least, in about 90 days. Leo, same thing too, lost 15 pounds and definitely feels a lot better about himself moving forward. So folks, that wraps up the 5 steps that you need to do in order to get healthier, fitter, and harder to kill this year. Hope you got a lot from this presentation, and to carry on and not just take this information, sit on it, and not action it. You need to head to the group. Head to the group, start your subscription. If you don't like it, if you're like, yeah, man, this isn't for me, I'm never going to use this, you let me know right away. 100% money back guarantee. Okay. Within the first 30 days. You got to do it within 30 days. Okay. Make that clear and I'll refund you every dime. This is what I want for the community. This is what I want for you in order to get leaner, fitter, and harder to kill. And I can't make it any easier as of right now. So hop on in. Hope to see you there. If you have questions, follow me on socials. Ask me those questions. Fire them away. Drop them in the comments here. This is the point. Okay. Don't languish and wonder, oh, is this a stupid question? Should I be at? No, this is what I do. This is what I'm here for. And these are the topics that I want to cover. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I just want to highlight John QC here. Much appreciated, John, for the super sticker. Goes a long way to supporting the show. In terms of supporting the show, maybe you don't want to join the community. That's okay. But if you want to find some merch, you can go to the link that is down in the description, find a hat, find a shirt, and every dollar goes to bringing higher quality videos and better guests every week. So don't forget, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and share it with your buddy that may need some help in the fitness and health department. That's it for me, folks. Enjoy your Friday. I'm going to go spark one up. It's been a long week and I'm off next week. So I won't be producing any content. I'm heading out to sunny British Columbia. I can't wait. And I'm going to watch some whales and hopefully see some grizzly bears in captivity, not in the wild, and go to the mountains and enjoy myself. So thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, train hard, fight easy. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.